Welcome to the Mind Over Money podcast with Jess and James.
Hello and welcome to this special New Year edition of the Mind Over Money podcast. My name's Jess and James. If you are new to us, welcome to our family. If you are not new to us, welcome back. And you know the drill. This podcast only gains traction if you give it some love. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform. And after the episode, if you can leave us a review and potentially share it with someone that you love, that would be freaking awesome. So Happy New Year. If you're listening to this before the new year, Happy New Year before the new year. If you're listening to this after the new year, Happy New Year. And if you are listening to this way after the new year, well, it's all good. Happy New Year anyway, all right? So what do I want to talk to you about in this episode for the new year? You know what I love about the new year? It gives us this almost false sense of a reset. Now, you can reset at any time of the year, by the way. You don't need to wait for the new year to give yourself some new standards or some new resolutions. However, it's nice because it's that kind of end of an era, leave last year behind us, start something new, go on and do something better. Now, what I don't want you to do, unfortunately, is become one of many people out there who are going to have the best intentions for making 2025 their best year ever and fall back into old habits. So what I want you to spend a little bit of time with you on this episode is what is it that you can do to ensure that whatever goals you set yourself, whatever resolutions you set yourself, that you actually stick to them and you actually achieve them. So here's the thing. What is it that stops people from achieving all of these things? Now, what is it? When you think about it, when people say to me, Justin, the number one thing stopping people from achieving their goals or whatever it is they set themselves is willpower, is fear, is procrastination, is all this kind of stuff. And look, don't get me wrong, they're all valid reasons, and I understand that they probably contribute to many, many people. However, you know me, I like to go down to the source, right down to the root cause of what stops people from doing what it is that they want to do. And I figured out in all of my years, the number one reason why people don't achieve their goals or don't achieve their outcomes is because they settle for something less. I'll say that again. The number one reason why people don't achieve their goals or don't achieve their outcomes or even get the resolutions that they've set themselves actually achieved is because they settle for something less. Now, why is that? The truth of the matter is very, very simple. If you have low standards for yourself, you will always settle for less. For example, this is the Mind Over Money podcast, so let's talk about money, for example. If you have low standards when it comes to money, you will settle for something less. For example, if you have low standards on how much you believe you should be paid, then you will settle for getting paid less. If you believe in your business right now, if you're a business owner, that you have low standards for your product or service, then you allow people to try and do bargains and deals and offer you less for what it is that you do. You may even be selling yourself too cheap because your standards are too low. If you're in a job right now and you don't value yourself enough to have higher standards, then you will accept a lower pay. You will accept a role that perhaps you are overqualified for. Do you catch my drift on this? So how do you actually stop settling for less? By elevating your standards. So I want you to take time right now after this podcast and start asking yourself, if I elevated my standards in all areas of my life, my personal, my professional, and my financial life, would I actually achieve my goals that I set in those areas of my life? And I guess if you do elevate your standards, guess what's going to happen, my friends? You are going to achieve your outcome. Look, all this stuff about I don't have enough willpower, I procrastinate, I'm scared, look, let me tell you something. When you make something a must, as in it's got to happen, here's my standard, it can't be done any other way, you soon find out that lack of willpower, procrastination, fear, all that stuff goes out the freaking window. Look, if it's a life or death situation, are you really going to procrastinate in getting out of the dangerous situation? No, you're not. Why? Because your standard around protecting your life is so high that you are not going to procrastinate. You'll definitely find the willpower, and you're not going to be scared. You're going to leg it out of there. You're going to get out of there as soon as you can. So what's my point? My point is elevate your standards. So I want you to spend some time after this podcast. Just look, it'll take you 5 minutes. Map out the areas of your life that you would like to set some goals in for the new year. Your personal life, that could be to do with your health, your fitness, your well-being, your relationships, travel goals, charity goals, whatever it is. Your professional life, that could be to do with your career or your business, whether you want to enhance your career, whether you want to re-qualify in something, take a new course, develop yourself, start a new business, grow your business, expand your business, whatever it is. And in your financial life, let's make it about a target. How much do you actually want to be taking home every single month? Now, once you know what it is that you want to achieve in 2025, then what do you need to do? Check yourself. How important is it to you? Like, do you have high standards in that area? Look, let's look at the gym, because that seems to be the one that's like the top of the list for most people when it comes to New Year's resolutions. I want to get in the best shape of my life. I'm going to stop eating crap. I'm going to start hitting the gym 5 times a week. I'm going to drink 3 liters of water a day, and I'm going to do this. And guess what happens? They fall off the wagon within 2 weeks, right? Now, for some of you listening to this, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Because you've done it yourself. Look, I've done it too. It sucks. It's not cool. Here's what stopped me from doing that, though, by elevating my standards when it comes to my health. Now, look, this isn't a health podcast. Well, it kind of is, because I like to look after people's mental health. But look, here's the thing. If you don't make room for health, you will make room for illness. Let me say that again. If you don't make room for health, you will make room for illness. Now, for me, I love my body. Why? Because it allows me to do certain things. It allows me to work. It allows me to run around the park with my young children. It allows me to train. It allows me to exercise. It allows me to stay strong. It allows me to be in a position to protect my family and loved ones if I have to. It allows me to do all of these amazing things. So I don't want to do anything that is going to compromise my body or compromise my health. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't indulge in anything at all. No, look, I'm human. Of course, I like to go out with friends. I like to have the odd drink. I like to do the odd thing that I shouldn't be doing and whatever. It's fine. It is what it is, but it's not a consistent behavior of mine. Why? Because I've got standards for my body. I know if I continually eat crap every single day, guess what's going to happen to my body? It's going to malfunction, and I'm going to make room for dis-ease in my body, as in disease. So what do? I have stuff in moderation if I really want to. It's up to me, but I'm not doing it consistently. Now, for some of us, why is that a problem? It's because we don't have high standards when it comes to our body. Why do you look at these people who go to the gym every single, well, not every day, but every day pretty much, or 5 times a week or whatever? They're just religious gym junkies. They're always looking after themselves. Why? Because their standards for their health are so high that there is zero compromise. There is no wake up in the morning and say, I don't feel like doing it. Their standards are so high in that area of their life that they go and do it. Now, there isn't one person out there that can tell you that they are 100% every single day can't wait to work out. Not many people feel like that. Not many people are even motivated to go and work out. But if your standards are high in that area of your life, what do? You do it come what may. So I'm imploring every single one of you to elevate your standards for this year and continue to elevate them as you progress through life. Because once you get to a certain level in life, you need to elevate your standards again. Look, I'm the same. Look, let's talk about finances for a second. I used to, long time ago, only feel that my worth was down here somewhere. And then I elevated my standards in that area of my life and I started earning more. Then I elevated it even more and I started earning even more. And I've actually had a good chat with myself this year, in fact, and go, Jess, you need to elevate your standards around your income. Yes, me of all people. Yes, me. I'm also having that conversation with myself. Why? Because I've realized there's actually more to be had and I deserve it. It's not that I need it. I deserve it. Why? Because of the amount of value I bring to situations and scenarios. I am a person of value. I've invested in myself so much. I've done so much in my life that I'm a person of value. And therefore, he or she who brings the most value to any equation gets paid the most. And I've been playing a little bit too small when it comes to what my earning potential could be. So I'm elevating my standards in certain areas of my life right now. For me, I'm looking at business transactions right now. I'm looking at deals that land on my desk. If it's not bringing me a minimum of £1 to £2 million, I'm not even looking at it. I'm not interested in it. Why? Because I'm elevating my standards around that area of my life. Now, last year, if it was going to make me a couple of $100 grand, whatever it might be, I might entertain it. I don't want to do that anymore. Nope. Because for me, in my mindset, it takes the same amount of effort to go and make $1 million as it does $100 grand. Now, you might think I'm crazy, but when you start doing what I've been doing, you'll realize that actually Jessen's right. It takes the same amount of effort to go and make $1 million than it does $100 grand. You just need to channel yourself in a different situation. So that's what I'm doing. I'm elevating my standards when it comes to money. So go out there and write down the things that you want to actually change in your life, the things that you want to achieve, goals in your personal, professional, financial life, and then elevate your standards in that area. Make it a non-negotiable. Look, do you want to get to the end of the year and just be comfortable and content, or do you want to be proud of yourself? Because I don't think enough of us are proud of ourselves. I genuinely don't. I think many of us actually look ourselves in the mirror every single day and go, hey, I'm not proud of you because you keep on letting me down every single day. You keep on saying you're going to do this, but you don't do it. Your intentions are good, but your behavior says otherwise. Look, don't be that person who has a lot to say, but nothing to show for it. And if that hurt, good. I want it to. Stop being that person who's got a lot to say and nothing to show for it. Stop letting people down. Stop letting yourself down. Be proud of yourself. And the only way you're going to be proud of yourself is if you elevate your standards and ensure that you follow through with what it is that you said you were going to do. And when you start to elevate your standards, you'll make non-negotiables. When you make non-negotiables, you will get your goals and you'll get your outcomes, because you will not stop and you will not settle for less, and you'll keep going until you get there. All right. So I hope you found this New Year's episode of the Mind Over Money podcast useful. I want to wish every single one of you listening to this a very, very happy new year for you, your family, your loved ones. I pray 2025 brings you even more wealth, health, happiness, and prosperity. As long as you elevate your standards, you will get there yourself. So thank you for supporting me throughout 2024. We've got some incredible things happening in 2025, and I want you to be part of it. So stay tuned and keep listening for some incredible things that are going to be coming out for my Mind Over Money podcast subscribers and listeners. And if you haven't done so already, please bless me with your like, with your subscribe on whatever platform it is that you are listening to this right now on, and make sure you leave us a review and share it with someone who you care about. All right. So happy new year. Once again, I love every single one of you. Thank you for supporting me throughout the year and throughout my career. We're just getting started and we're just getting warmed up. So I love every single one of you. God bless you all. And I see you, every single one of you, on the next episode. Take care for now.
You've been listening to the Mind Over Money podcast with Jess and James. Don't forget to subscribe and follow on all the channels, links in the show notes. Please also leave a review and visit www.jessandjames.com to find more resources on how to create the life you deserve.